Ahoy everyone, it's the EliJoeUKnow show. Today I'm going to be doing something very different from my previous videos. Lately I have been working on a couple short stories and this is going to be one of them. I shouldn't say lately. Back in high school, so this would have been 3 years ago, I took a creative writing class, and in that class I started working on a book, and I haven't worked on that book till more recently. But I had an idea that I should create a bunch of short stories to go for this book that I've been wanting to write. This is one of those stories. The book is going to be called While in the Elements. These short stories are going to be based off of how magic came to be, based on elemental magic that would later become kind of magic that you would see wizards would use, like Merlin, just casting a spell. The first magic I'm going to hit on that was created from two elemental magics to create a new type of magic is going to be a 3-part story. And I'm going to be reading the first story today. This story is While in the Elements, Blood Dance, Part 1. In the beginning of time, magic has brought groups of people together. The first people, as you may remember, separated after the first magic war, causing 13 tribes to be created, and they wandered across the land. This story is of two of those tribes, the Anjanda and the Karjan tribe, whose battle between their leaders would be the start of blood magic that did bring both love and vengeance to the land. 200 years after the first magic war, and 276 years since the dawn of time, these two tribes fought to take claim of the Hemlar Mountains, being a plentiful amount of minerals for the Karjan tribe that they desired for their tools and their weapons of war. There also being many fresh water sources and herbs that the Anjanda tribe could use for their mages and their healers. The chief of the Karjan tribe was a deadly swordsman and tactician. Trelmar was chosen to be chief for his special magical ability, for the Karjan tribe was an earth tribe, using minerals of the land to make tools of magic. Trelmar had the ability to move iron, for he could change iron to steel by heating it up in his hand, as well as harden and soften the steel to his liking. The people of Anjanda were nomadic healers, talented with the use of water. They were led by a strong yet beautiful priestess, Priscilla, being chosen by the wandering oracle twins to be the tribe's head priestess. On the day of the first flowers bloom, the wandering oracle twins separated to these two tribes to bring them their shared revelation. The first twin arrived to Priestess Priscilla with open arms and a loving embrace. The twin gave the message, and with haste the priestess gathered the items that she would need to reach the top of Mount Hem, the tallest mountain of the Hemlar Mountains. As for the other twin, the Karjan tribe was familiar with the bells of the wandering twins, but there was no loving embrace for this twin. The twin sat in the tent of Tremlar. By custom of the land, gifts were to be brought to honor the chiefs, but the twin only offered the revelation. Those mountains will become your home and your land. Your people will grow and populate there. Do not take others from here, but reach for the summit and claim what is yours and your people's destiny. Where your blood grows strong, you will find what your tribe needs. With that verification of the strength of his people, Tremlar took his sword of wavy steel and left his tribe for Mount Hem. The climb to Hem was not a simple task. Much as there was an abundance of resources, there were also as many cliffs and beasts to inhabit the way. But for these two strong children of faith, and their hope in God blessed them to the top with minimal distractions. After a day of climbing, they reached the base of the summit. If you were to be sitting at the top, you would have seen them get there without a difference of a second. They looked, and they saw each other, and knew at heart they were both there to claim the mountains. Tremlar was the first to move. He grabbed his sword at his side and charged. Priscilla grabbed her sacred dagger that she carried with one hand and began to turn the snow into water. In battle, they were an even match. Tremlar's sword could cut through Priscilla's magic whip made of water, but she could keep him away at a safe distance. Their fight longed for 2 nights and 3 days. If there would have been an observer, they would have seen the flat at the base of the summit to begin to change, for both water and iron flow through our blood, and their magic pulled to each other. The air around them grew slowly from clear to a light red mist that radiated with light. Snow on the ground melted in the footsteps that would become their dance. Motion of her whip, a slice of the sword, negating the magic again and again. The earth turned from white to green and brought forth new life. On the second night of their leaders gone, both tribes could see the light growing from the summit. Oracles gathered the members of the tribe that they stayed with and sent them to go find their leaders. With haste, both tribes reached the flat where they danced on the 3rd day, both equally confused to see them fighting with such passion that both Tremlar and Priscilla were smiling. For the space of 4 hours, the members of the tribes watched unnoticed by these two. At the end of their dance, they let out a final cry, leaping out for a finishing blow, only to stop at the last second, sword and dagger at their throats, and then dropping them to the ground. Priscilla and Tremlar embraced each other. For the revelation the twin oracles gave was not to find the land, or new tool or herb. It was love. With that love, both tribes could grow together. Now the tribes ran to their beloved leaders, cheering them on, for they felt their love while they were dancing. And for that red mist, you may wonder, what was that? Was it important? That mist was the product of a new magic, one that can be stronger than the mountains themselves. This was the first spell of blood magic, a spell of love and unity. Most these days would place a flag to claim the land for their own. But this tribe, they did something far greater. Tremlar and Priscilla walked up hand in hand to the summit, using their last bit of energy to create the most magnificent fountain, one of the utmost beauty and style, lined with precious stones, and at the center that of a tree trunk, ice flowing out of it, creating the illusion of a crystal tree. And from there on out, they would be known as the people of Hem. Well, that's part 1 of Blood Dance. Thank you for watching or listening. Not much to see, but thank you for watching and supporting. If you want to hear part 2 of this, subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated to it. I have plans already for 3 other stories, short stories to come, and I know that's just the beginning of the short stories, so I can get the full book of While in the Element. Thank you. Comment down below if you want to hear something interesting or something else you want me to talk about. Like, share the video, and I'll see you next time.